right, now, listen up.
3, 2, 1.
It's showtime.
That's great.
This is ridiculous.
99.3 The Truth.
You can't handle the truth right now.
Ooh.
That was the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Let's do it.
Hit it. It's time for Max World.
And here we go.
Everybody, let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Call Mac 244-0077 or text 809-0993.
It's showtime, everybody! Showtime!
Exclusively on 99.3 The Truth.
6 minutes after 3 o'clock on Friday, the 27th day of May in the Lord's year 2016. J. Michael McCoy sitting here on a Friday because Fridays are 15% more fun. The party is started. The gang's all here. Jeb is producing. Chris Roloff, Frank the Verse, and, of course, Bob Montserrat, the cat in the hat, watching the chat. Next hour, my good friend Steve Dace. We've known each other a long, long time. And he's agreed to come in and kind of let me question him on this hashtag never Trump stuff. And he's more than happy to do it. And so he'll be on here pretty soon. And that'll be the first time. Steve and I have been on the radio together before, but probably not in this building. So it's been over a year since we were on the air together.
Yeah, I don't think he's come down and done the show here. I don't think.
I don't know. He's been down here to the studio.
Did you give him directions on how to get here?
You know,
he knows how to get here.
Yeah, he's been here before.
He's been
just not on the air.
Okay.
So that's going to be, and I confirmed with Steve, so that's going to be coming up. Now, Frank,
yes.
Did you ever call in to the Steve Day show?
I tried, but never successfully got in.
Okay. Are you going to be able to be nice to my friend today?
Yes, but I have some pretty tough questions.
He has some pretty tough questions.
He's going to stump Steve.
No, it's not stump somebody. It's a vote that isn't against Hillary is a vote that's for Hillary. That's my motto.
Okay. Well, you'll be able to talk to him about that because he's got a lot of thinking. All right, we've got a couple news stories, and then we talked. When did we talk about the trans? Was that yesterday? We talked about the transgender.
Just a little
thing?
bit, yeah. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. Mm-hmm.
There's this crazy news story out about a 16-year-old boy in New York City. No, Vermont. In Vermont. Well, I'll tell you about it later. It's transgender to the max. It's just. I'll tell you now. The New York Times published an insane piece this Tuesday about the periods, menstrual cycles, of transgender teen A.J. Jackson, 16, a student from Green Mountain Union High School in Chester, Vermont. Quote, when he had his period, he wondered if he should revert to the girls' bathroom because there was no place to throw away his used tampon. Wrote the journalist in the New York Times. But he had started feeling like an intruder in the girls' room, and the single bathrooms were so far out of the way, it was hard to get to class on time. So he stuck with the boys' bathroom. Writing for the New York Times, Amanda, I can't pronounce her last name, Prestigo Como? Referred to this whole idea of boys with periods as impossible because boys do not have uteruses and thus do not menstruate. She did add, however, but the Times, well, they're hell-bent on pushing their transgender agenda fully complies with this delusion. The Federalist contributor Daniel Payne noted that Jackson needs the genuine help of mental health care professionals, not a fake help of enablers among the progressive left. Shame on those who have encouraged these delusions at the expense of the health and well-being of vulnerable, confused young people, he wrote. And shame on the journalists who treat these delusions as if they were fact. Agreed. But unfortunately, we now live in a world where facts that offend cease to be facts, which raises a key question. What then is a fact?
Wow, that's a very interesting. That was in the New York Post?
New York Times.
New York Times. Wow. That's a really good article, some really great stuff in there. But how confusing would that be for a boy? Now he's been going to the boys' bathroom for how long? It was a girl, right? So it's a girl who's a transgender girl going to a boys' bathroom for some amount of time.
No. AJ is a boy. This young man, age 16, is a boy. And he claims he's having his period.
No, it's the other way around. The article is writing AJ. AJ is identifying as a boy. But biologically, AJ is a girl. That's why AJ's having a menstrual cycle. So AJ is actually having to take care of AJ's period. But because he self-identifies as a boy and is living his life as a boy, he goes to the boys' bathroom. And because he's in a boys' bathroom, there's not a place for him to dispose of his feminine hygiene products. So he's now. You get what I'm saying? Like
okay.
this is so confusing.
I didn't get
because
that.
The article writes it from the way he identifies. So AJ identifies as a boy, biologically is female, and so therefore is having a menstrual cycle and having to,
Well, the very informed
hygiene.
The very informed pastor guest we had in here last week says the term hermaphrodite is antiquated. It's now called intersexed. So this person isn't really quote unquote transgendered. Transgendered means
Wait a minute. But intersex is still the smallest minority, though. You're assuming that this person has both genitals. We're just simply saying that this person identifies as a male. Their name is a male. They're living their life as a male, but biologically they're female. So AJ is having a menstrual cycle because AJ
is really a full-fledged girl.
Is a female who is identifying as male and living as a male. And now AJ's having a difficult situation because the men's bathroom, the boys' bathroom at the school, don't have places for feminine hygiene.
But when they tell these stories in the media, they're saying boy is having periods.
Right, exactly. Because the media is participating in the
scam.
I don't want to say scam, but they're choosing to go along with the self-identifying person. So that person is identifying as a male, but they're biologically female. And so now the identifying male person is doing what a normal, healthy female would be doing, having a menstrual cycle. And so now it's reported, and it's very confusing and odd and bizarre and strange and all this kind of stuff. It doesn't make sense because it's difficult to understand because it's difficult to understand. It's not going to be simple because it's confusing.
Well, the reporting on it is not clear.
Well, because what do you do? I mean, it's kind of like, what do we talk about the Jenner person?
But
is its name? Bruce, Caitlin, whatever?
I hear what you're saying, and I agree 100% with what you're saying. But like I say, all the stories are identifying this person as a boy who's having a period.
Right, but it's not.
Okay.
It's a girl identifying as a boy who's having a period because he, in fact, is a girl. And that's what the person who wrote from the Federalist points out, that this person is confused. In the article that you read, Mac, it points out that AJ is confused and that AJ needs counseling, not to be coddled.
All right, well.
Did I make that even more confusing than it was?
No,
Did
I think
ruin
you
your
cleared
point?
it up in my mind.
If I understood that, again, I was just listening to you read it, so it's possible that I've misunderstood it.
I think I misunderstood it. I went back and looked at it, and you are correct. AJ is a girl,
right,
who's acting like a boy,
right. And since AJ is in fact a girl, she's menstruating, and there are no places for feminine hygiene products to be properly disposed of in boys' bathrooms.
And she shouldn't be in the boys' bathroom to start with.
Well, but and here's the interesting thing, though. But everybody probably at his school, at AJ's school, sees AJ as a boy. So they're fine with AJ being in the boys' bathroom. In other words, all the other boys at the school are probably like, yeah, that's whatever, that's AJ, it's no big deal. But now because AJ is actually biologically female, so basically now they're going to move to having disposal baskets for feminine hygiene products in males' bathrooms.
And have the dispensers, the coin-operated dispensers in there also.
Right. Because now any bathroom has to accommodate any biological makeup.
No.
Well, I mean, that's what this kind of stuff is probably going to continue to take us down that road.
Not gonna do it.
Well, and that's why I appreciate the person who wrote from the Federalist and said that AJ needs counseling and some help. I mean, but I don't know. And there's some really cool stuff in that article. Specifically, I think this is Daniel or something from the Federalist.
Daniel Payne, Payne.
Said some really, I think, astute things. It's fascinating that was in the New York Times. I hope more people are reading it and trying to wrestle with the difficulty of this world that we find ourselves in. How do you love AJ? That's
Daniel Payne wrote, and shame on the journalists who treat these delusions as if they were fact.
Right.
I mean, Bob, did you ever think this would happen in our lifetime?
Well, I never really thought about it, but it's just all these things are coming up that you never even dream of, and then we get to deal with it. But I wouldn't say it's inconsistent with the Bible and things that it predicts would happen, as in the days of Noah and so forth and so on. You agree with that? Come on, Chris. Come on.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I think this is the way of the world. Yeah. I mean, it's confusing. I mean, because I think people people doing away with any kind of law and order, they create chaos, and chaos doesn't work. It doesn't make, I mean, chaos does what chaos does, which is create chaos and confusion. And you can't even understand an article written anymore because you have to read through what's actually being said, because what's being said is so confusing, because this is so confusing.
But how do you scientifically prove a feeling? The secular and the atheist world wants to verify everything by science. How do you scientifically prove feeling?
You can't.
All right, we're coming back live here on The Truth, 99.3 on a Friday afternoon. Thanks for listening. Love this job. Couldn't do it without you. Right here on The Truth.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Hey everybody, I brought Northern Lights Pizza, and it's got Graziano sausage.
Rock and Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rock and Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
21 minutes after 3 o'clock, 3:21 on a Friday, the 27th of May in the Lord's year 2016. I'm J. Michael McCoy. What are you going to do this weekend? You know, one of the things you might want to do this weekend is think about a new house. Seth Walker can help you find that house. He's honest, he's professional, and he does what he says he's going to do. Give him a call, 577-3728. That's Seth Walker. And you tell him Mac told you.
You know, on that, in my neighborhood, I've noticed a few houses for sale, and we actually got a flyer at my house. And the market is such right now, the housing market is such that there are a lot of people looking to buy homes.
Mm-hmm. And not enough homes on the
market.
enough
homes on the market. So if you're at a place where you're thinking, you know what? Yeah, I could make some extra money, sell my house and get a different place. This is the perfect time to do that. Because there are a lot of people looking to buy homes right now, and Seth Walker is the guy that you could call up, and he could get your home listed quickly and probably get it turned over really fast. It's 577-3728.
All right. We're talking about this transgender thing, and the reason I want to talk about it so much is because I am sure where I stand on it. I don't know why we as a public cannot have single stall bathrooms for people who want to use the bathroom alone. Why can't we do that?
Well, I think to some degree, Mac, we do actually already. I mean, right? Like sometimes when I go to any bathroom, there is a stall, and I can go in there whether I need to use a stall or not, right? And I can do that. I can go into the bathroom, use a stall, go and be out. And I don't really care who's outside the stall. I don't care who's next to the sink, standing at the sink with me when I'm washing my hands. I'll walk out, do my business, right? I'm an adult. I'm okay. So I think we have that to some degree. And a lot of large businesses now, especially you think of like, our radio studios, it's no secret, we're high atop the Merle Hay Mall. And here at the Merle Hay Mall, they have banks, if that's the right word, multiple family bathrooms. You see this at larger places now. We have these family bathrooms, and they're essentially what you describe. They're single-use bathrooms, essentially, with a lock on the outside, and people can go in and use those, and you can do that as a family. If you've got young kids, it's great. Because I know having a daughter, when my daughter was very small especially, having to go to the bathroom, she would come with me, that's fine. But as girls get older, I don't want my daughter going to the boys' bathroom where there's a bunch of urinals. And I think what we're going to see is more and more bathrooms are just no longer going to, in the male bathrooms especially, we're no longer going to have urinals.
And all those bathrooms down there have changing stations for infants.
They do, yeah.
So male or female, either one can use them.
That's right, yeah. Anybody can change, male or female can change their child's diapers. But I agree with you, Mac, but I think we already have that. And that's, to me, that's the thing that's really confusing about all this right now is we already have that opportunity, right? I think that someone who identifies as an opposite gender and looks that way and is identifying that way, like we had with this story with AJ, if anybody met this young person, they would say, well, AJ's a boy. So if they saw AJ walk into the boys' bathroom, they probably wouldn't think anything of it. And AJ would not use the urinal because AJ doesn't have the plumbing to use the urinal. So he would go into the stall, do his business, and he would leave, and nobody would think anything of it. Not a big deal to me. I agree with you, Mac. I'm not exactly sure. And the thing that frustrates me is common sense says we can live with this. It's the illogical wackadoos that want to press this and say, no, it's not just about going as normal. You've got to change to embrace this new coming reality. It's about expressing an ideology that says this is where the future is. This is humanity is going to move past this binary reality of boys and girls. We're going to evolve into a greater plurality of gender.
515-244-0077. That's the number I'd like you to call if you'd like to get on the radio. You can also text us at 515-809-0993 on the Service Legends Truth text line. Let's go to the phone where Deb is standing by. Deb, happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday, Mac. Hey, I read a story today, and it was of a father who pulled his 3 sons out of elementary school because his 9-year-old son came home and said there was a girl in the boys' bathroom, and the teacher told all the boys just to stand closer to the urinal, and that was how the school was dealing with a little girl.
Is that a local school?
No,
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure where this happened, but somebody there could Google it. It'll come right up.
Okay.
The story was published today. I don't know if the dad did this yesterday or if he pulled them out today, and that's how the story hit the news. But a lot of people think this is just in the high school, and it isn't.
Yeah,
And-
this is elementary school.
And I used to work for Dick and Betty Odgaard.
Yeah.
This is not about the right to get married or the right for somebody who is confused to use the bathroom of their confusion. This is about erasing all boundaries regarding gender. And when that happens, then marriage means nothing, family means nothing. I look at this and I see the battleground is a bathroom in an elementary school.
Yeah.
And that's where people, I don't shop at Target, but I haven't shopped there for years for my own reasons. I'm not going to sign a boycott. I don't agree with their policy. But if somebody wants to sign a boycott and they're standing on the fact that it's an unrighteous policy, it is an unrighteous policy. And that righteousness, that the standard is in the Bible. So if people want to reject the Bible, that's fine. That's your choice. It's my choice not to shop at a place that decides to, when I look at this situation, thankfully Dick and Betty, they have other income. Really, that was Betty's dream and her creative outlet. But they lost their business.
Yeah.
Because two men threw a tantrum.
And
they didn't boycott, they sued them.
Yeah, and by the way, the record shows that those two men were already married in Polk County.
Of course they were.
Yeah.
There's a lot that people don't know. I'm going to tell you a story of, and I won't tell you, I might tell you off the air if you want to know, because you do know who this person is. But they have a niece who decided to get pregnant. She didn't want a husband and she didn't want a father in the picture. So she went to a sperm bank and had a little girl, but she wanted a boy. So she named the little girl a boy name, dressed him in boy clothes. I might cry when I tell this because it's very upsetting to me. She bought him boy toys, treated him as a boy, and this little girl last August went to school. This is local. Went to public school where she was assigned a bathroom. And she was told, you go to the little girl's room because you're a little girl. And this little girl went home and told her mom, Mommy, do you know that I'm a little girl? And I want to be a little girl. And the mother's reaction was, what have I done wrong? What has she done wrong? Where do you begin? That is child abuse.
So she has a little girl, but she treats him like a boy.
She treats her like a boy.
Treats her like a boy.
And this little girl went to school. Now keep this in mind, Mac, what's coming. The teacher assigned her a bathroom because she's a girl. In the future, the teacher will not be allowed to do that.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think people really, they think that, this is not a big issue. It is. It isn't about the bathroom, but that's the battlefield. And how cowardly is that?
Well, Deb, I think you picked up on something very key. It's not just the bathroom issue. They're wanting, apparently, to force kids of different sex in the same shower rooms, showering together, etc. So you're exactly right. It goes beyond the bathroom issue.
It goes beyond the bathroom to erasing all boundaries. This is all boundaries regarding gender and safety and protection of children specifically.
Well, haven't you heard this idea from the Democrat liberal side that male and female is interchangeable? There's no difference? And this is exactly what Chris was starting to pick up on, that they want to move beyond sex. They want to erase the image of God in mankind.
That's exactly what it is. That's what it is. You just hit the nail on the head. They want to erase the image of God.
Yeah.
That God created us male and female, and there are roles for men and roles for women. It doesn't mean that men can't be artists or cooks or, be nurturing or caring. It doesn't mean that a woman can't be a tomboy. That has nothing to do with any of this. That isn't even the goal here. And gender fluidity is not the goal here. It is complete erasing of God creating. And when you erase that, then anything goes, and no child will be safe.
All right, so you're amazing, Deb. Thank you very much for calling in. So let me ask you this: would you be in favor of public transgender single stall bathrooms available to those people?
You mean in a public school setting?
Yes, public school, mall. Just like we have to have handicap, we have to have other things in public places.
Have you been down to the courthouse, Mac? Have you ever been down there?
Unfortunately, a couple of times that I wished I wouldn't have, but yes.
Well, and I used to work for an attorney here in Des Moines. I was in and out of the courthouse all the time, but
Okay.
I never used the bathroom there until I was on a jury duty with actually Betty, which kind of was interesting. But they have very few bathrooms in the courthouse. They don't have like a men's bathroom with a lot of urinals or a women's bathroom with lots of stalls. They have like one bathroom on the second floor and one bathroom on the third.
And they're like
Single
1930s
occupancy.
plumbing, right?
Yes, that's exactly what
Yeah.
it is. It's not an issue. This is a fake issue. So if you're going to have a sign on the wall that says women's bathroom, there's only one thing that can mean one.
Women can enter here.
That's right. My son, my youngest son, he said to me, because we've discussed this, unfortunately, we've had to discuss this. He said, I don't want some dude who looks like a woman standing at a urinal next to me, Mom. And I looked at him and I said, and I don't want some dude who looks like a woman in the stall next to me.
It's just maddening. I keep thinking I'm going to wake up, and it's this bad dream that the accuser is running afoot all over America, making people question how God created them.
Right. And think how lost they are. I mean, on one level, part of the reason that I cry about the story I told you about, and I do hope you put me on hold because I'll tell you whose niece it is. You know this person.
Yeah, I want to know.
Is because not only is the little girl confused, but so is her mother. And how did they get there? They both need the truth. And somebody standing there allowing them to live in their delusion is not loving.
No. All right, Deb, we're up against a break, and Paul's holding on the other line, and I need to take Paul after the break. So are we friends on Facebook?
No, but I'll friend request you.
Are you? Yeah, send me a request. I would appreciate that.
Okay.
Deb, as always, I sure appreciate when you call. You're one of those really, really good callers, and I appreciate you. All right, we're coming up on 3:35. Paul is holding on the other line. We'll have Paul on. You can join the conversation, too. 515-244-0077. It's the death of common sense in America. It's called Transgender. We're coming back live.
Northern Lights Pizza's amazing garlic butter makes amazing breadsticks. Now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza. I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Hobbs,
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed, fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're gonna make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
22 minutes before the top of the hour, 3:38 on the 27th day of May. I'm J. Michael McCoy, and this is Max World Live. Coming up in the next hour, my good friend Steve Dace and I are going to sit down and have a conversation about hashtag Never Trump. He is, well, you'll find out where he's coming from, and I look forward to having him on the radio program. 515-244-0077, that's the number. Excuse you?
I am so sorry. I apologize. I tried that.
I thought it sounded like a moose was dying over there or something. 515-244. No wonder your daughter loves you. That was a great. All right, 515-244-0077, and the text line is 515-809-0993, and that's from the folks at Service Legends. We are having a calm conversation about this transgender thing. Jill says on Facebook, is it a law that bathrooms are now both genders? Well, it's a mandate from the president. It's not a law, it's a mandate. However, the liberal left will find a way to somehow turn it into a law, I'm sure, and not letting someone use the bathroom of their choice will probably become a what? Hate crime.
Right, right, and that's really the way I understand what the president of the United States has done. Has basically said that in public school settings, to my knowledge, he hasn't extended this to small businesses or into the public arena in that sense. But in public schools right now, the way I understand it is he said that essentially teachers, administrators cannot decide for students what bathroom they can go in. That it's up to the student to decide what gender they are, however they identify, and they can go into whatever bathroom they want.
Now, what's interesting about that, something else Jill said, Jill's a good conversationalist. Has it ever been a law that only boys can go to the boys' room and girls can go to the girls' room? I don't think there's been a law, but isn't that common sense?
Well, it's more than common sense. It's always been about protection, and I think Deb pointed this out. The reason why you have a sign on the door that says men and a sign on the door that says women is because those are multi-use bathrooms, and it's for the protection and privacy of individuals. I generally feel more comfortable going to the bathroom with a bunch of guys than I would going to the bathroom in front of a bunch of girls. I'm a guy. It's not about I don't want them to see me or them to. It's a privacy issue. I just feel comfortable going to the bathroom around a bunch of other guys, and I think women feel the same way.
So here's something funny, and I'd love to do a candid camera type of thing with this.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a very attractive woman walk into a men's room and see what happens, and then have it doesn't matter, but have a man, not a hunk, a man go into the girls' bathroom. I'll bet you the man would be arrested, and the woman, it would be a big thing. Nobody'd care. The guys would just laugh about it.
I think that's what would have happened in the past, but now I don't even know how it would have happened.
If I walked into any place and I went into the women's restroom and a woman complained, could I be arrested for trespassing? There's got to be some type of sexual. Help me, what I'm saying. The guys that are on the list.
Yeah.
Offenders.
Yeah, it's got to be a sexual offender thing or something.
But I don't think just simply walking into the bathroom with a sign on it, I don't think that's a crime.
Okay.
Because I've done it. Not on purpose. I've done it before.
244-0077. Paul, you're live in Max World. How you doing today,
haven't
Paul?
We all done it on accident before? Anyway.
I've never walked into a girl's room.
Not on accident. You've never once.
I don't think so, to be honest with you. I don't think so.
Like if you go to Walmart.
Hold on. I'm trying to get Paul on here.
Understand.
Mr. Walmart. See, there he goes with Walmart again.
All the time with
Paul, are you there?
Yes, I am still here.
All right, buddy. Sorry about that. Frank got to talking and we couldn't shut him up.
You guys get all excited over there. The situation I guess I'm trying to figure out is why the Islamic dictator-in-chief would even concern himself, because if he was a good Muslim, he'd make sure that we'd actually attend to the laws of morality. So now that I know he's a liberal Christian on that kind of concept, it thoroughly explains why he's a left-wing dictator in that situation there. You attach the, right kind of, W-R-I-G-H-T, right? The
Jeremiah Wright?
Yeah, Jeremiah Wright, coming home to roost, that kind of process.
Yeah.
He keeps up the laws he's going to be doing. They're going to be coming home to roost because Islamic law doesn't even permit this kind of stuff. If you're a Muslim, you're not subject to those things. So if a person wants to really attach something, become a Chrislamist, attach yourself to the belief of Christianity with the laws of
Islam.
Moral Islam, because then the concepts there is you're not subject to the same dictates everybody else is. That's the way it's been happening lately.
All right, Paul, as always, I appreciate your phone call and thanks for joining us today in Max World. It just doesn't make sense unless you look at it through the eyes of the accuser. This is perfect for evil to happen. People not feeling safe in the bathroom. If I'm a woman and a guy walks into my bathroom, but see, this is what's strange. Now, just think about this for a minute. If I'm a guy, today I'm a guy. I don't know what I'll be tomorrow. Today I'm a guy, and if I was in the bathroom, going to the bathroom, even standing in a urinal, and a woman walked in, I don't care. I really don't care. Why? Because I feel safe. I don't feel like that woman's going to hurt me. Right. But if a man walks into a woman's restroom, there's still that idea that it would be an unsafe environment, and so there'd be a problem. It's just the silliest thing. I can honestly tell you, Mr. Roloff, I never in 100 million years thought I'd spend time talking on the radio about bathrooms.
No, I think Bob said it absolutely right. But you asked Bob, did you ever think that we'd ever be talking about this on the radio? It never even crossed your mind. How could you even fathom that we would be discussing this? It's beyond silly.
The word Mac was looking for was recipe. It's a recipe for a disaster.
Yes.
But places like Walmart have these situations where you have open door bathrooms where you don't pull a door open or shut, but it's kind of blocked by the partition and you can walk left or right.
Oh, yeah,
and if you don't pay attention to which direction you're walking, you can walk right into the girls' restroom, which I have done, and went, this don't look right. I must have been I must have looked at the wrong sign. But you got to carefully look at the two signs that's in your peripheral vision, left or right, which way you're going.
And Frank, like you said, I think the reality of it is it's just about decency and privacy, and that's why don't we still care about those things? Why don't we still just care about privacy?
Yeah, see, that's what Jill just said. It's a decency issues. We don't care about decency anymore.
Because Hollywood is teaching you not to be modest anymore.
Sure.
Used to be you were taught modesty. You didn't show your parts to other people and just put them on display for public view. Now we got women coming out half naked, what they call side views of women's breasts, etc. This is just general Hollywood stuff. So, there's no modesty. They don't want modesty. Men and women are interchangeable.
And how does this small percentage of our population get so much done like that? How many people are transgendered? You know what? I'll bet you. Whatever the number is today, in 2015, let's say, at the end of 2015, that number is going to quadruple, 5 times in the next 5 years, because it's going to be cool to dress like a boy one day and then dress like a girl the next day.
There's no way to verify those statistics, because just because somebody says something doesn't make it true.
I get that. But the number of people who identify themselves as Christian is down. Mm-hmm. The number of people who identify themselves as gay is up. Well, whatever. I've got a couple more news stories that I want to get to. Can we stop the conversation on the transgender? Steve's going to be here in about 15 minutes, and I want to get my head clear of the nonsense, because I have a feeling I'm going to hear a lot of nonsense from him too. So I've got to, make sure my nonsense meter's on. All right, when we come back, a brand new company coming to Des Moines, and it looks like it will bring 1,000 high-tech jobs. I'm not kidding you. Woo-hoo. Just came out today. I'll share it with you, tell you who it is and where it is. 3:47, we're coming up on a break. We're coming back live here on The Truth.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
Northern Lights Pizza, your home of the tasty crust. Our garlic butter sauce now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common, everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
10 minutes before 4 o'clock, 3:50 on the 27th day of May in the Lord's year 2016. I'm J. Michael McCoy, Frank the Verse with me, along with Bob Montserrat, the cat in the hat, watching the chat and watching our Service Legends Truth text line. That number is 515-809-0993. That's the number you can text a message to us, and Bob will be more than happy to read it on the air. You can also join us via the landline. There's a term. 515-244-0077. Very quickly, a man here in Des Moines drove himself to the hospital this morning after being shot in the arm. Des Moines police arrived in the 1400 block of East 9th at 8 a.m. That according to the police department. Witnesses led police to a duplex where the shooter reportedly fired at the victim while he was seated in a car. The 30-year-old victim drove himself to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Now listen to this. This is how the story ends. The suspect, so the person that they think was the shooter, has been identified, but police have not made contact with him in person yet. I just think that's a strange way. I mean, to me, that would read, police have identified the shooter and there's an all-points bulletin out or are searching for him now, but they have identified him but have not made contact with him in person yet. Anyway, I just enjoy the way things are written. All right. How would you, Bob, say it into the microphone? How would you pronounce that name?
Cognizant.
Cognizant Technology Solutions plans to bring 1,000 jobs to Des Moines. Might have been the big jobs news recently, but it's not the only tech-related company building. Scientific Game Corp has its own expansion plans as a gaming and lottery software developer looks to add 20 jobs to its offices downtown. Based in Nevada, probably. Based in Nevada, Scientific Games currently has 6 employees in about 3,300 square feet of space in the 500 block of Walnut Street. The company has proposed a $300,000 expansion of its Des Moines offices and a separate expansion in Cedar Falls. Scientific Games clients include the Iowa Lottery, which extended a contract with Scientific Games in October of 2015. The company had about 8,500 employees worldwide at the end of 2015. The Iowa Economic Development Authority has awarded Scientific Games $42,700 in tax funds for its expansion.
That's Nevada, Iowa.
It is Nevada?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. The board also awarded $25,000 grants to Des Moines-based My Diabetes Home and Iowa City-based Organizer. The name of the company is Organizer. Organizer. So, the Partnership for a Better Des Moines and the partnership folks are doing a good job, because we're certainly we're a popular place to come. Have you driven by either the Google or the Facebook plants that are around our area?
Aren't those both in Altoona, or one of them is?
One's in Altoona, and the other one's in it's the old golf course out there. I guess that was in Des Moines. What was it? Walnut Creek? No, not Walnut Creek.
Des Moines.
The one on Army Post Road.
Oh.
I thought it was Walnut Creek Golf Course.
Wakanda?
Willow Creek.
No. Willow Creek.
Willow
that's
Creek.
out there by Willow Creek Church.
Yeah, okay. So you ought to see this building or buildings. First of all, it looks like a top secret kind of a I Spy type of thing. There's razor wire that's curled all around the top of the thing. They have their own power plant. They do not draw power from another power plant. They have their own mid energy, mid
American.
Thank you. Mid American Energy built their own power plant for those folks. Both of them on both ends, Altoona and in Des Moines.
I've been told that this Facebook plant out in Altoona doesn't employ any local workers. All the workers, and there's very few.
Right.
There's about 35 to 40 employees, and they're all out-of-state workers.
They're all out of state?
That's what I've been told.
What do you mean by out of state? Meaning they moved here, or they just not?
No, well, I don't know if they live here part-time or whatever, but they're not local Des Moines, Iowa employees that work there. They're all out of state. I don't know, from New York, wherever, Mark Zuckerberg, California. I don't know if they're transplants here to, just part-time, whatever. But I'm told there's no local workers.
Well, it's not a big employer because they're just servers, right? I mean, It's just data servers that are holding all of our baby pictures and whatever that we've now given to Facebook and Google.
But don't you think there's something up with Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Global domination, yes. I actually, full disclosure, I'm a science fiction fan, and I just recently was watching one of the most recent talks that Mark Zuckerberg gave there at Facebook about the goals and missions and plans of Facebook. I felt like I was watching like a science fiction movie. It was really creepy.
They're an arm of the NSA who's out to spy on everything we do.
It is bizarre. I will tell you that the Facebook sort of global idea is bizarre. And the way they talk about it is kind of, I don't know if it's just I read too much science fiction, but it's definitely.
But the people are standing in line to voluntarily tell all their dirty laundry, all the information about themselves.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I actually had someone point out to me, I've been a Gmail user, so my email service has been Google for, maybe 12, 13 years now. I've been doing this for a really long time, and a friend of mine said, well, then Google knows everything there is to know about you. They know everything about you, because every email I've ever sent has been tracked and archived by the Google conglomerate, and they know all things about me, so... and I voluntarily have done that. I was an early subscriber to the Google world. So,
all right. Well, my mother, who's an incredibly intelligent woman, says that the biggest fear that we have in the United States today is the fear of loss of privacy. That we don't have to worry about most things; they're just coming and going, but the government will simply know everything about us, and they do it by marketing these devices that we call smartphones, and they have GPS. They know where you are. They can now turn them on. My phone right here, they could be listening to me if they chose to, and I would not know it. They tap into just the microphone part of it. Same way with TVs. If you've got a television that has a camera on it, like the old laptops, they say they can turn that on and watch you watch TV.
Yeah, the laptops at my house all have tape over those cameras. We've sealed off those cameras. Yep.
Good. All right. We're going to take a break. Top of the hour news with Salem Radio Network will be next. And then at 4:06, your calls, your thoughts, your comments with syndicated talk show host Steve Deace, live here on the radio on 99.3. I'm J. Michael McCoy. If I have not told you lately, let me tell you again. Thanks for listening. I love this job, and I couldn't do it without you. Right here on The Truth, 99.3.